Good day, grade 8. Welcome to another lesson of Mathematics 8. We are now in our week 2 of our discussion. And this video is made to guide you in answering the learning activity sheets for week 2. I will give you some examples in all of the activities presented so that it is easier for you to turn in your output. The first activity is entitled Which Does Not Belong. The direction is which of the following does not belong to the group. Write the letter of the correct answer in the blanks provided. This is the copy of the learning activity sheets, and this is the topic of simplifying fraction. The concept of simplifying fraction is very important in simplifying rational algebraic expression. So listen carefully to the examples. I have here the fractions 1/2, 2/4, 3/6, and 4/10. Among the four fractions, which do you think is of different value? We can find it by simplifying those fractions. The first fraction is 1/2 and it is written in its simplified form. So there is no need to simplify given number 1. Given number 2 is 2/4, and 2/4 can be simplified using different methods. This time, I will show you solving or simplifying fractions using its prime factors. The prime factors of 2 is 2. The prime factors of 4 is of course 2 times 2. And then we're going to cancel out the common factors, which is 2. What is left in the denominator? What is left in the numerator is 1, and in the denominator is 2. Therefore, the fraction 2/4 can be simplified as 1/2. Next fraction is 3/6. 3/6 can be simplified as 3 has the factor or prime factor of 3. 6 has the prime factors of 3 times 2. Then we're going to cancel out the common factor, which is 3, and what is left in the numerator is 1, and in the denominator we have 2. Therefore, the fraction 3/6 can be simplified as 1/2. Proceed tayo with our fourth fraction, which is 4/10. What are the prime factors of 4? The prime factors of 4 is 2 times 2. For 10, we have 2 times 5. Cancel out the common factor. What is left in the numerator is 2, and in the denominator we have 5. Therefore, the fraction 4/10 can be simplified as 2/5. And by observation, we can easily identify that 4/10 does not belong to the group because 4/10 has a different value. Therefore, your answer must be 4/10. Okay, so for our learning activity sheet number 2, it is entitled Rational or Not. So we're going to determine whether the expression is rational or not. Just write the word rational or not on the space provided. If we are going to define rational algebraic expression, it is being defined defined as the ratio or the quotient of two polynomials, or it is the quotient of two algebraic expressions. In short, the numerator and the denominator must be polynomials and the denominator must not be equal to 0. So, in determining if the given expression is rational algebraic expression or not, we're going to take note two conditions. The first one, the exponent of the variables in the numerator and in the denominator must be positive. It must not be negative. It must not be fraction. Okay? So we have here some example. For number 1, we have 3xy over 6z. First thing to do is to observe the numerator. Is there any negative or fraction in the numerator? I mean, is there any negative or fraction exponent on the variables of the numerator? So there is none. Therefore, this is a polynomial. This is an algebraic expression. Okay, algebraic expression. Let's focus on the denominator, which is 6z. Is there any negative or fraction in the exponent of the term in the denominator? Okay, there is none. So therefore, this is also an algebraic expression. And as we recall, the quotient of two algebraic expressions is considered a rational algebraic expression. Therefore, the given 3xy over 6z is an example of a rational algebraic expression. So your answer is rational algebraic expression, or in the instruction you're going to write rational. Okay, let's proceed with our example number 2. For our example number 2, we have the square root of x over 5y. Okay, first thing first, observe the numerator. X, or the square root of x. Is there any negative exponent in the variable x? Okay, there is none. How about, is there any fraction as exponent of the variable? Okay, there is. Okay, tama po yung narinig nyo. There is a fraction exponent because the square root of x is also equal to x raised to the exponent 1/2. These two expressions are of equal value, and this is 5y. Therefore, the numerator has a fraction exponent, so this is not an algebraic expression. So not an algebraic expression. The denominator is, of course, it is an algebraic expression. So this does not define the definition of rational algebraic expression. Therefore, the given the square root of x over 5y is not a rational algebraic expression. Therefore, your answer in this activity is not. Write the word not. Okay, our next activity for learning activity sheets number 3 is entitled Make It Equal to 0. Give the value or values of x to make the expression equal to 0. Write your answer on the space provided. The first one is given as example. If we're going to recall the definition of rational algebraic expression, there is a term here, or the expression, the denominator must not be equal to 0. Therefore, we can only consider this example as rational algebraic expression if and only if 6y is not equal to 0. Or this expression, 6y must not be equal to 0. And if we are going to ask what is the possible value of y that makes this denominator equal to 0. Okay? So to solve that, to find the value of y that makes it equal to 0, we're just going to copy the denominator 6y is equal to 0. So we're just going to equate the denominator to 0. Again, equate the denominator to 0 and then solve for the value of the variable involved. Okay, so we're going to divide it by 6 to cancel out 6 in the left side of the equation. And what is left is y is equal to 0 divided by 6, that is 0. So therefore, the value of y here must be 0 to make it, or to make the denominator also equal to 0. Let's check. If y is equal to 0, 6 times 0, so the denominator will be 0. So in this activity sheet number 3, we're going to find the possible values, or all the possible values of the variables to make it 0. We have here 10x plus 5, and we are going to ask if what is the value of x that makes the denominator equal to 0. So again, we're just going to copy 10x plus 5 and then equate it to 0 and then solve for the variable x. Okay, the first step is to separate the term with variables and the term with the constant. And this time, we're going to retain the terms with the variable on the left side of the equation and the constant term to the right side of the equation. So, we're going to transpose positive 5 from the left to the other side of the equation. Therefore, it will become negative 5. And then, to solve for the value of x, we simply divide it by 10. Then, cancel out the common factor, which is 10. What is left in the left side of the equation is x. And in the right side, we have negative 5 over 10. Therefore, x is equal to negative 5 over 10. And it can still be written into its simplified form, which is negative 1/2. Therefore, the value of x in this expression that makes it equal to 0 is negative 1/2. Okay, let us proceed with our learning activity sheets number 4 with title Decoding a Mystery. In a national spelling bee, the winning word means a careless or indifferent person. What word is it? To find out, match the expression with its simplest form. Write the letter above the correct answer. Okay, so we're going to start now with simplifying rational algebraic expression. And I will give you some example. Okay, we have the expression x squared minus 36 over x plus 6. Take in solving rational algebraic expression, you should know first factoring polynomials, which is our lesson last meeting. We have here the difference of 2 squared, which is x squared minus 36, and it can be factored as the product of two binomial with one as the positive sign and the other with a negative sign. And then x squared is x, or the square root of x squared is x. The square root of 36 is 6. Ayan. If the first term is a perfect square number and the second term is also a perfect square number and it is separated by a minus sign, we're just going to factor it as two terms with one with a positive sign and the other with a negative sign. We're just going to find the square root of the first term, x, and put it here, and then find the square root of the second term, the square root of 36 is 6, and find it here. So that is factoring the difference of two squares. And then copy the denominator, which is x plus 6, because it is already written in its factored form or simplified form. So no need to factor it out. And then we're going to cancel out the common factor, which is x plus 6. What is left in the numerator is x minus 6, and in the denominator we have 1. Take note that if we cancel out all the terms in the denominator or in the numerator, there is always a factored 1 which is being left. Therefore, x minus 6 over 1 is just also equal to x minus 6. Therefore, the expression x squared minus 36 over x plus 6 can be simplified as x minus 6. Okay, for our example number 2, we have x squared plus 10x plus 25 all over x squared minus 25. The numerator is a trinomial, and in factoring trinomial, we're going to use the reverse of FOIL method or the trial and error method. So, I will teach you another method in factoring a trinomial. The first thing to do is to focus on the constant term, which is 25. Then, what are the factors of 25? So the factors of 25, or what are the numbers that if we're going to multiply, the answer is 25. So we have 25 times 1. We also have negative 25 times negative 1. We also have 5 times 5. And the last one is negative 5 times negative 5. Among these factors of 25, we're going to find the sum, which is equal to 10. Among the factors, we're going to add, and the answer must be 10. 25 plus 1, that is 26. So this is not the factor that we are looking for. Eto, the sum is negative 26. So again, this is not the factor that we are looking for. How about this one? 5 plus 5, that is equal to 10. That is equal to 10. So we all know that this is not a factor or the factor that we need because we already got it. We have 5 times 5. If we already find the factors that we need, we are just going to write x, and then the factor. We have positive 5, so plus 5. We have positive 5, so plus 5. Ganun lang siya. And then, for our denominator, this is the difference of two squares. Because x squared is a perfect square number and 25 is also a perfect square number, and it is being separated by a minus sign. So the factor is the product of two binomial, which the one is positive and the other one is negative. The square root of x squared is x, so we write it here as x. The square root of 25 is 5, so we write it here as 5. So that is the factor form. And then the next step is to cancel out the common factor. What is left in the numerator is x plus 5, and in the denominator is x minus 5. Therefore, the simplified form of the expression or of the rational algebraic expression x squared plus 10x plus 25 all over x squared minus 25 is equal to x plus 5 over x minus 5. Okay, activity sheet number 5 is also simplifying rational algebraic expression, but this time you're going to encircle the letter of the correct answer. Okay, I have here another problems about simplifying rational algebraic expression. But this time, the numerator is a monomial and the denominator is also a monomial. So we have 25 x to the 6, y to the 7th, p, u, all over 10 x to the 7th, y to the 5. Again, we have 25x to the 6th, y to the 7th, p to the 3 power, over 10x to the 7th, y to the 5th. I will teach you two methods in solving this or in simplifying this rational algebraic expression. The first one is the long method, wherein we're going to find the prime factors of the numerator and of the denominator and then cancel out the common factor. The prime factors of 25 is 5 times 5. The factor form of x to the 6 is x times x times x times x times x times x. 6x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The factor of y is y times y times y times y times y times y times y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7y times p cubed is p times p all over. The factors or the prime factors of 10 is 5 times 2, and for x raised to 7 is 7x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And for y, we have 5y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And cancel out the common factor. Etong 5 ang kapareho. Isang x, dalawa, tatlo, apat, lima, anim na x. For y, we have y, and y. Ang natitira sa ating numerator ay 5 times. Itong 5, sa x wala nang natira, sa y we have dalawang the 6th y to the 7th p cubed all over 10 x to the 7th y to the 5th power is equal to 5y squared p cubed all over 2x. Another method of simplifying this rational algebraic expression is by applying the laws of exponent that you have learned in grade 7. The first thing to do is to simplify first the numbers or the numerical coefficient of the terms, which is 25 and 10. We're going to find the greatest common factor of 25 and 10. Or what is the number that will divide, or what is the greatest number, the biggest number that will divide 25 and 10. And that is equal to 5. So we're going to divide 25 by 5. The answer is 5. And we're going to divide 10 by 5. The answer is 2. Therefore, the simplified numerical coefficient is 5 over 2. How about for the variables? We have x to the 6 and x to the 7. Applying the power law of exponent, the answer is x. Because 7 minus 6 is 1. So the exponent of x here must be 1. If you observe x with bigger exponent is in the denominator, so we will write the remaining x in the denominator also. In our y to the 7th and y to the 5th, we have y 7 minus 5, and the answer is 2. So that is y raised to 2, because 7 minus 5 is 2. And take note, y with bigger exponent is in the numerator, so it is also written in the numerator. And since y is written in the numerator, there is no factor or p in the denominator. We will just copy PQ. So the answer in simplifying 25x to the 6th, y to the 7th, p cubed over 10x to the 7th, y to the 5th is 5y squared p cubed over 2x. So either of the two solutions is accepted in our learning activity sheets number 5 and number 4. Okay, thank you for listening. Once again, my name is Mr. Ronnie B. Borbe, your subject teacher in Mathematics A. For more questions or clarifications, you can message me at my FB account at GDMCIS Ronnie B. Borbe, or you can text me at my number 09466 309 So I hope that you will successfully answer correctly all the learning activity sheets for week 2. Goodbye class. See you next week.